I'm Shrishti Saha for MPSF Sports, and joining me today is the women's water polo head coach at Indiana, Taylor McInerney. Taylor is entering her sixth season as head coach and has been assistant coach for the USA water polo national team since 2017. She has led Indiana to its first 21 season since 2018 and has helped the Hoosiers win 20 ACWPC Academic All-Americans and 12 MPSF All-Academic Honors in 2024. Firstly, congratulations on your wins against both Harvard and Wagner yesterday. What do you think contributed in the team's success, particularly in closing out both games with key goals from players like Olivia Stark and Portia Sasser?
Thank you so much for having me. First off, I think we've just talked about getting better, truly throughout the season. We compete in the toughest conference in the country, so we want to make sure that we're finishing the season playing our best. But we obviously we start with a really tough non-conference schedule as well. But yeah, the weekend was long with 5 games, and we wanted to have a really balanced attack. So I'm really proud of how the team competed overall, and we had strong contributions from a lot of players, but I'm really proud of how balanced scoring was across the team.
Wonderful. You've been assistant coach for the USA water polo national team since 2017. Has that, or if it hasn't, I guess, how has that experienced your influenced your coaching philosophy and strategies with Indiana?
Yeah, I've been really fortunate to have been a part of our pipeline, of our national team pipeline. So I've been a part of the youth national team, which is our 18 and under national team system. And I learned a lot through that. It's been a huge part of my development as a coach. I've met a lot of other coaches, learned a lot about the international style of play, about a lot about like our own like our senior team level national style of play. Um, it's been a huge part of my coaching journey. It does not everything I would say like translate to the college level. Like our schedule is different. The way that we're able to train is different. The athletes are different, but it definitely, a lot of the drills are transferable. A lot of the messaging is transferable. So it's definitely been a piece of my journey. And I value that experience so much.
So I previously mentioned that Indiana had its first 20-win season since 2018. What do you think were the key factors behind this achievement?
So much. I mean, taking over the program. I feel like it was kind of a full rework, top to bottom. We had a lot of talent here, um, and so, but a lot of the pieces kind of needed to be reformatted and repositioned in a position so that we could win. One of my biggest, core values in terms of like style and how we play is fitness. One of the key things for me, the 4 main pieces for me are fitness, fundamentals, finesse, and family. And so those are the main things that if we get those right, we're at least going to play teams in a really tough physical manner. So we're fast. I want to play fast. I want teams to feel like the ball is just flying around them and that they're having to chase us up and down the pool. So that really contributed to us getting to be competitive with no matter who's in the water against us. And then the fundamentals piece again, like no matter who we're in the water against, like if we have some fundamental pieces of water polo, that piece is right. And then making sure that we have girls who are students of the game and who can play water polo with finesse and who are able to make reads. I'm not out there in the water for them. I can't joystick them around. And so the finesse part has to be there. And water polo doesn't exist in the state of Indiana, really, other than us. So I want everyone on the team is a chosen Hoosier. So the family part has to be there. And with those 4 things, I think that's how the program was able to build. It feels slow, but it also feels fast. Like my first season feels like yesterday, but at the same time, it feels like a really long time ago. So I'm really proud of the success that we've had. I know that we're really hungry for more, though, and I'm excited for what's to come. But really proud of what we've been able to accomplish so far.
I love that. That's wonderful. You mentioned that you had to rework everything. Was that something you were prepared for? Like, did you anticipate it, or was that something that you were just thrown into?
Definitely thrown into. I was a first time head coach, and everyone says you don't know what you're getting yourself into until you're in the chair. And I'm physically sitting in my chair in my office right now. So it's very, very true. You don't know the job until you're in it. And I was at the school already. Like I had been an assistant at IU for 2 years. So I thought I knew, I knew people in the department. I knew other head coaches. I'd been at the facility, all of the things, but I didn't know what I was getting myself into until I had the job. Um, and just all of the pieces that come with it. And then also I think but every season I've learned key lessons that I've taken on to the next year. And even semester by semester, I would say like I learn a key lesson that I carry on with me into the next season. And I get more confident and I become more knowledgeable. I add pieces of other experiences, including the national team, and other things that I use to make myself better for this job, for this program. I serve on different committees. I've been on our national championship committee. I'm currently serving as the vice president for our coach association. I try to add different pieces to my own professional development to make sure that I can be the best coach possible for the program. Um, so yeah, it's something that I'm trying to grow. Just as I expect our student athletes to try and get better every day. I'm trying to add pieces and develop myself every day so I can be the best coach I can be. Um, yeah, it was a full growth moment and still is. But I always say I've got the best job. I get to keep away in a pool. So it's fun that I get to do it every day.
So Indiana has had multiple both academic and athletic honorees. How do you create a culture that emphasizes both athleticism and academic excellence, especially during challenging moments? Because I know there are times when, academics are tougher or when, your sport is harder. How does that work?
You just have to talk about it. I think it's, they're student athletes, and I think that's something that you can't just say, on class registration day can't be the only time you talk about school, or on like the first day of classes, or on graduation day. It has to be an ongoing conversation. We travel a lot, and so when we're on the road, I'm constantly asking the girl, like, I know what my girls are studying, I know what classes they're in. Those are the conversations that I'm having with my athletes. I can tell you like what projects they're working on in their classes. So I think, I have a master's degree. Our associate head coach has her master's degree. Our new assistant coach is in her second year of her master's degree. So education is clearly important to us. But I think it's like anything, like if you talk about it, it speaks, you speak it into existence. Um, we always say within, like, in our recruiting pitches too, if you don't want to be a program where your coaches know what's going on in your life, don't come here. Because we're constantly talking to our athletes about what's going on in their life. So yeah, academics are important. And you're not going to play water polo forever. Hopefully water polo is a part of their lives forever in some shape or form. But I don't want them to just cruise through school when they get here. And they should be striving for excellence in every piece of it. So we make sure that we're on top of that just as much as we are on top of the water polo piece.
It's wonderful that you're there for them and that you ensure that they have that support. Lastly, what excites you most about your upcoming season and the future of Indiana's women's water polo team?
I think for the season, really everything. I mean, we only get about 30 games in the season, which probably seems like a lot relative to maybe some other sports, but we train collegiate water polo, like we train so much more than we play. And so every game is an opportunity to get a win and to showcase our ability. So I'm really just excited for every game. Every time that we get to cap up and play someone that's not ourselves is an opportunity and an exciting time. And then the future with so much changing in collegiate sports, the future looks a little bit unknown, but um, what I think is most exciting is with the future of like roster limits and things like that. I'm excited for parity, hopeful parity across the sport. We're a younger sport, and there's been kind of like blue bloods, and even the way that people talk about collegiate water polo, especially on the women's side, is that the top is a little bit untouchable. And it's schools that are in our conference. And the top recruits like will only look at certain schools, and a lot of people think that only certain schools can win. And I think we're going to see that changing, maybe not in, 5 years time, but I do think in 10 years time. And that's really exciting. And I think soon we're going to have a female head coach that wins a national championship. And I think we're going to have a national championship with two female head coaches who are going to be coaching against each other. We're going to be, um, I think, a female coach dominated sport soon. And, those are the days that I'm looking forward to. And I'm looking forward to having athletes who are, get to see more female head coaches in our sport. Just lots of things that I think are positive that are going to be on the rise for women's water polo at our level.
Thank you. We've been talking to Taylor McInerney, Indiana's head water polo coach. Indiana are off to a strong start so far and up against Michigan on Sunday at 12 p.m. and Marist at 3 p.m. Both are at home games. Coach, thank you so much for joining me today. This was so insightful. We look forward to following you guys all season. For MPSF Sports, I'm Shrishti Saha.
Thank you.
Of course.